16 ways to mess up your personal injury case. So I got this idea from Alex Hormozi in a video he titled 28 Ways to Stay Poor. It's this whole idea of he tells you these 28 ways to actually stay poor, but the reality is if you do the opposite, then you can actually become rich. That idea is what he got from Charlie Munger. And it's an idea called inversion thinking, where he talks about, if we give you this negative, but then you ultimately invert it and do the opposite, then you can succeed at it. So in this one, we're going to give you 16 ways on how you can mess up your personal injury case, because there are a lot of ways out there, but we're going to talk about 16 ways that you can do that. How to mess up your personal injury case. Ignore the accident scene. So you're at the scene of the accident, don't take photos, don't exchange information with the other side. Don't stop and take pictures of the skid marks on the road. Don't jot down what the weather was like that day. Don't jot down the cross streets. That's how you can say how you can mess up your case that way. Let's talk about everything that happened and everything you do on social media. Post it everywhere. Put up all the activities that you're doing. Do everything you can. And that is one of the top ways that you can actually really mess up your personal injury case. Follow all of the bad advice that you actually get online. Your wiki lawyer, your online lawyer, your ChatGPT lawyer. Take all of that advice, use it. Don't talk to a real attorney that does personal injury. Just take all of that advice and go forward. Just skip all your medical care. You got a doctor's appointment? Miss it. You got a chiropractic appointment? Don't show up. You got a physical therapy appointment? No call, no show on that one. That's a great way to mess up your personal injury case. Take a quick settlement. The insurance company sends you a check a week after you got into the crash. Accept it right then and there. That is a wonderful way to mess up your personal injury case. And holy camoly, see, that is something we cannot recommend at all. But from the inversion thinking standpoint, it's a thing too. You want to know how to mess it up? That's what you should do, but don't do it. You think you don't need a lawyer, you don't ever talk to one, and you don't get one. So you don't get any information from one. You think you can just handle it all on your own without any issues at all. And so that's a great way to mess up your personal injury case. I'm just going to do it all by me. No witnesses are needed. I'm not going to talk to anybody that actually saw the crash itself. I'm not going to call any doctors and talk to them about what they experienced within my pain and injuries. I'm just going to take it all and I just want the judge and the at-fault insurance company just to hear my story about me only. That's it. And so I don't want any outside influence at all coming in talking about their view on how things actually happen too. So that's a great way to mess up your personal injury case. You're going to negotiate by yourself. And hey, I've never negotiated before at all with anybody at all, but I'm going to negotiate with an insurance company on what I believe a reasonable amount is for my damages, for my injuries. And so that's a really, really good way to mess up your personal injury case, is by going it alone and negotiating it by yourself, not understanding what the statute of limitations are or caring what they are at all. Statute of limitations are a real thing, and it's something, if you really want to mess it up, you just let go by. And so the statute of limitations are something to where, hey, I've got a lawsuit that I need to file by a certain time. And if you don't know that information, you can really mess up your personal injury case. I'm going to over-exaggerate all of my injuries so that I feel like I can get more from the at-fault insurance company. I'm going to make it up. And so that's a great way to do it, because the thing you're going to do right then is you're going to lose credibility so fast that not only will the at-fault insurance company not believe you, the judge isn't going to believe you, and the jury's not going to believe you either. Accept everything that the insurance company tells you as complete truth and canon. Don't do any of your own research. Don't talk to a personal injury lawyer. Just accept everything they say as the rule. Just play tough. Don't tell the doctor how much pain you're actually in. Just take that stand, and when they ask you how much pain you're in, you say, no, I'm not in any pain at all, doc. But then the moment that you walk out of the doctor's office, you're like, ooh, man, this hurts. And so that's a really, really good way to mess up your personal injury case, is by not being open and honest with your doctor. You don't call the police to the scene of the crash when you're injured. And so it's one of those things where it's like, nah, I'm not going to call the police today. I was in the crash, I was injured and severely hurt, but I'm not going to call the police. Really, really good way to mess up your personal injury case. Alienate your family as you're going through treatment. So I'm not going to talk to my partner. I'm not going to talk to my wife or husband about what I'm going through at all. I'm just going to keep it all to me, keep it all internal, and not express to anyone the pain and frustration that I'm going through at all. It's a really, really good way to mess up your personal injury case and also, honestly, take off your family. Choose not to follow any of the doctor's treatment recommendations. And so you're like, nah, I know better than this doctor. I'm just not going to do what they tell me to do. I'm not going to do any of the at-home exercises. I'm not going to go see this, surgery consult recommendation. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm not going to follow anything that the doctor says. And so that's a really, really great way to mess up your personal injury case. The last one is I'm going to wait way too long to go get any medical treatment. I'm just gonna do like anything else. Out of sight, out of mind. I'm gonna put it out. I'm gonna just put my head in the sand and just forget about it until finally at some point, the pain hurts so bad that I go and see it. But I've waited way too long. There's a giant gap in treatment from the day of the crash to whenever I go get my injuries. And that's a really, really good way to mess up your personal injury case. So those are 16 ways that you can mess up your personal injury case. Obviously, if you want to make your personal injury case better, do the opposite of all of those things. And then you can have a very strong personal injury case. But we just think it's important that you understand that if you want to mess it up, here are some ways to do it. But ultimately, if you want your case to succeed, do the opposite. If you like this video, feel free and follow us on social. Give us a like and a follow. If you have any questions about it, feel free and reach out to us at springslawgroup.com.